What is up? My name is Gabe and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be showing you the number one problem that I see logo designers make all the time, and I want you to not make the same mistake. So we're going to be looking at the Starbucks logo as an example and figuring out how to prevent the worst logo mistake I see all the time. But before we get into that, I want to offer a brief encouragement. I know you came here for graphic design, but you're getting a little extra. I like to encourage people at the beginning of my videos. And today I've had a rough day a bit. And so I think what's helpful for all of us, and I'm gonna invite you to do this right now, is just take a moment to pause, breathe, and like remind yourself of like one thing that you're thankful for. You may be having a really crummy day, kind of like me, or maybe you're doing great. But either way, it just kind of helps to pause for a moment and remember something to be thankful for. So I'm gonna do that. Wow. That's so easy and it's really nice and slows you down. We get in the rat race, you guys, like we just go, go, go. And so pausing for a moment can be really helpful. All right, let's get to what you came here for. We're gonna show you a little bit about how this logo needs to be treated properly. We're really talking about illustrated logos. So logos that have some kind of a graphic element, whether that's an illustration of a siren like the Starbucks logo. It really is just something that is more than just type. And typically you'll see what I'm talking about as we go through this. But anyway, so this is our Starbucks logo. It exists of two colors right now. We have our white right here in the background, and then we also have the green as well, right? So two parts of the logo. That's pretty standard. Logos can have more than one color. What happens when you need to send this logo to a client? Oftentimes when I package my logos, or really every time, I always am sure to send a white logo and a black logo because it's important to have those if they're needing a one color logo to put on an image, maybe put in a t-shirt, doesn't really matter, but a lot of times you can be limited with your colors. So what we do here in this case, if we knew that we were going to make a black logo, is I could just delete our white here, turn this to black, and there you go. It works great, especially on a light background. We've still preserved the image of the siren. She looks exactly as she should, so no problem. Let's move on to the white logo on black. And here's where I see people make mistakes over and over again. So let's do the same process, right? We'll just get rid of the white, and then obviously dark green is now we're going for. We need a white logo, so let's just make this white. Do you see the problem here? Do you see what we've done? We have distorted this logo because if you see clearly here, especially in something that has illustration, and often illustration has highs and lows in color or darks and lights, there are darks under her eyes and in her mouth and under her hair that represent shadows. Your brain sees this and perceives it as a shadow. And then you have lights that are perceived as highlights. And so the problem is when we do what I just did, which is something that I see often, and even I have done it myself, is we flipped our darks and our lights. Now our highlights have become shadows and our shadows are highlights. And that totally distorts the image of what you're looking at. I mean, her eyes look totally wrong because they're meant to be in shadow. So what's the solution to this? So if you're doing a logo and you need it to be white, what I would do is just take this little circle, scale it up just a little bit, and then we'll take our green and we will make this black. To prep it, you would really knock it out to where all you have left is just the white. But for now, that should give you an idea of how we can keep this as a one color logo, but also make sure that it doesn't lose the integrity of the illustration. So I see people make this mistake all the time. They just flip the logo to make it white, but they don't think about how the illustration is going to translate on a dark background. So that's the big mistake I see people make often, and I want to encourage you whenever you're prepping logos for a client or even maybe using a logo yourself, pay attention to the elements in the logo that are illustration or that show highs and lows, darks and lights in an image, and you need to make sure that you're preserving that whether the logo is completely black or completely white. So that's my tip for today. I see this all the time. Like I said, I've done this before myself, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like or subscribe or all that stuff. I don't really care about if you do or don't, but it is nice to know if you liked the video, because I don't know. Is anybody even watching this? Who knows? But anyway, so that's what I have for you today. More to come. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.